welcome back to Roguecraft here on Music Free Gaming. That's right, I'm here and in my house. It's a nice house. I'm getting chests. Um, at some point I will have chests all the way back and then I'll decorate more. But that's not why I'm here. The chests are not at all why I'm here. Why I'm here actually has to do with my giant building up there in the background. I want to make it taller, I want to do some decorations, but one of the things I want to use to help decorate this giant beast of a building is I want warped crimson wood, right? I love the teal, it looks great against the deep slate, and I don't want to have to go sit and mess with that all in the nether. So what I'm going to do today is right here I've got marked out an area where I'm going to be setting up a nether wart farm, or another fungus farm, I guess is technically the thing, whatever. So yeah, that's going to be the plan. So hopefully good things are going to happen. Okay, so I'm going to be doing something that's a little unusual for me. I am going to plan a little bit. I know, you're all freaking out. You're planning. That's just wrong. But yeah, I've got a couple things I want to set up. I want to set up a sorting system and a couple of other things to deal with bone meal and getting bone meal into the system. So I want to get that set up first before I build the actual farm, just to be sure I've got everything laid out the way I want it to be laid out. So that's going to be the next step. Okay, so I'm going to have a sorting system. I want to sort a couple of things. I'm going to sort the fungus items themselves, right? The fun little mushroom blocks that go into things. I also want to sort out the the roots and stuff, right? And then anything that's extra, I want to dump into another box. I want to dump into a composter, and I just realized I think I want this to be lower. Actually, it could probably be even lower than that. But I'm going to start here, and we'll see how this goes. You know, I do actually have scaffolding, right? I do, in fact, have scaffolding. You know, I could actually use it. Wouldn't that be lovely? Hey, look, this block that's designed to get you up and down. Wow, I could use it to go up and down. I could also craft 2 composters instead of 1 because it's amazing. Okay, so I've got the first sorting array, or first couple of sorters in place. Just need to get the, whoops. You know what would be really cool? Like really, really awesome. Probably actually finishing these things. Let's grab my redstone torches because those are helpful, right? Slap those down where they're supposed to go. Okay. So yes, let's try this again where I put the filter in place, throw in a warped fungus, put the filter in place, throw in a crimson fungus. Okay, and then I need to set up 2 more filters over on that side to sort out the crimson roots and the warped roots. Okay, talking is a thing I can do. Yeah, so get the crimson, get the warped, and basically all I'm going to do is I'll collect enough that I can fill a barrel, right? That's the size of a single chest. I don't need more than that. And then any that's extra, so this will fill up and then chug out that way. So, and fill in through the composter into the box to collect bone meal. Now, yeah, I think this is going to, honestly, I think I've got too many hoppers. I might have this up a little high. I'm going to go ahead and let's double check that. Make sure my math here is right. Okay, so step 1 is done. I've got two sorting systems in place, or two sets of sorters in place. This one's doing roots, this one's doing fungus, and that's great. So as everything washes out of the farm, it's all going to end up in here and swooshing across the top of this, and that's going to be great. Now it's time to actually build the farm itself, which is going to actually not be that hard either. Just need to, again, make sure I know where everything is so that all of the swooshing and sloshing that's going to happen with the water streams happens right where I want it to happen. So I guess it's time to lay this out and try to keep my redstone dry. Wet redstone doesn't work nearly as well as dry redstone. Okay, so I think I've got the basics worked out, at least somewhat. So the main water stream to collect from the farm is going to sit on top of those iron blocks. I'll have it drop down into a water stream that runs along the top of this section. And that will collect everything and it's taken into the sorter. This top row will take everything coming out of the farm first. So it'll all whoosh down on top of this one and then drop down onto this sorting system. Okay? Again, it should be fairly straightforward. I will find a way to screw this up, but it should be fairly straightforward. Okay. Yeah, so here's how this is going to work. So I've got netherrack here. This is going to be a typical shaky floor design. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to run, what is this? The crimson nylium on this side. And I'm going to run warped nylium on that side. So what'll happen is I'll feed bone meal up to each of them. And I'll get red nylium drops on one side, green nylium drops on the other. So I get some of both of the things in one farm. And I won't have to change out anything. So this section needs to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blocks long, I think. 7, 8. I need to check that. But because what I'll do is I'll have dispensers with water buckets that'll spit out here. And if the source block ends up here, I think that's going to wash right this way like I expect. So, but this will all end up falling apart in testing, I'm sure. But we'll see how this goes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. So I'll just fill this in and see how it goes. Okay, so the very astute of you might have noticed that I made this 13 blocks long. This is a problem. The piston push limit is 12 blocks. So I have to shorten this on each side by 1, which is fine. I just have to shorten it. So cool. So we'll get that going. And then the next thing I need to do is add in the pistons. So the first one's going to go in like that. And then these ones are going to come in a block further out. I'm out of netherrack, but that's okay. I'm sure I have another thing I could fill in with, right? Right, so basically what I'll do is I'll get another set of pistons out this way. Where's my axe? Right, so that'll go there, and then the piston goes there like that. So the idea is that this one pushes, slides everything over, all of this stuff goes off, then this one pushes and everything goes back. Okay, because everything will be shifted over and will then be against this block. Okay? Nothing too crazy. So I guess I need to come through here now and get a bunch of pistons in place so I can get the shaky floor going. That'll be fun. Okay, so the plan here is to grab these dispensers and we'll just slide them across. Oops, come on. Slidey, slidey. Let's go. Yeah, we'll just slide these across the back here. Now, you could do this, or I could do this, with trapdoors, waterlogged trapdoors and stuff. But this is fine. There's nothing too crazy here that needs me to go that route. And it's not like I'm lacking the materials here, so I do need to, however, craft up another. Well, that's going to be too many buckets. I need some more water buckets to fill those in. But let me go get some water. I want to do a test real quick, make sure the water is reaching where it's supposed to be before I start wiring up all of the redstone circuits. Okay, so I've got the dispensers in place, which is awesome. The next thing I need to do is get a couple more in underneath the floor. And that's going to be loaded up with bone meal. And then we'll we'll actually run the farm. So I think what I want to do is put this probably, unfortunately, this is an even number because, you know, it is. But I think I want to put it right here. So it's 3 blocks from the dispensers and 2 blocks from the end. Okay. And then I'm just going to drop these in. One there. One right there. Oops. So that goes there. And then we just fill that in like that. Now, that's great. Now, the one drawback is I've got bone meal coming in here, and I'm going to have to pump it up to those dispensers right there. So that's going to be fun. Not, you know, impossible, but definitely its own special breed of fun. So fortunately, I've got a couple of droppers which I can feed in. I can just basically build a little dropper tower going all the way up, assuming I remember how to build one. I like to pretend I know what I'm doing with redstone. I don't. But that's okay. That's okay. I'm having fun, and that's the important part. The sorting system sticks out this way. Okay? As I mentioned before, this should line up. Well, what happens is if I put these right next to this, I'm going to end up with redstone signal bouncing off these, and I don't want that. So what I'm going to end up having to do is run them sort of. Oops, that's not where that's supposed to go at all. Come here, give me back my block. Thank you. I want this to go. Darn it, I'm going to have to come up this way a little bit. I want this to go this way. There, so it feeds up and in. Okay, that should be reasonable. All right. And so I guess I need to do the same thing on the other side as well. Hopper, hopper everywhere. Where you are, I do not care. Except I don't have enough of you. This is a really bad worldview. I don't know where I was going with that, but I'm sure it made sense in somebody's mind. But that mind was not mine. Yeah, so the idea here is I've got a hopper line running from the chest. Now remember, this is my bone meal chest, right? I'm just going to be loading up bone meal into this all over the place. These are going to feed these towers right here. And one of these is going to be a little bit longer than the other. I guess that's okay. So just slap one down there and one down there. Yeah, okay. That'll work. So this will fill this chest. One side of it feeds this way, one side feeds that way. Now, I think what I want to do is I'm going to put a little clock on there, which will temporarily lock both of those hoppers so that there's at least 2 things of bone meal in this. Otherwise, it will just fill one side and not the other. It's not a hard circuit to make. It's just annoying to have to make it in the first place. But given that things are going to be fed through this one at a time, I don't really have a whole lot of choice. Okay, so now here's the thing. I need to get redstone right along all of these hoppers. And that kind of means I need to run it here. I'm also going to, you know, fall off because that's a thing that I do. Right, so I'm going to run redstone all along the top of these, which would have been nice if I had actually kept the redstone. I put it away for inventory reasons. And now I need it again because of, well, yeah, because that was smart. But the idea is you run the redstone across the top of these blocks. It powers the blocks, which powers the pistons, and that fires everything off in wonderful and exciting ways down there. Now, I also need to run redstone down along here and then feed that whole system with a clock. So let me go pick up some stuff and let me see if I've got... Ah, good. I do have some observers. And yeah, go and get the rest of the circuit started. Okay, so I just did a test of the hoppers and they worked fine, but it revealed a problem. You notice all of this nether rack? That wasn't nether rack a moment ago. What happened was when the nylium shifted underneath the cobblestone, it broke it, which is not what I had in mind. So, because you get that tick that goes, and when you get nylium covered by a block, when you hit that random tick, it can turn into netherrack. So I need to go get another thing that won't turn that into netherrack and won't screw everything up. So I think I'm going to go find some glass. I need to get some repeaters in place. I've got some in my box. I'll go grab them in a minute. But I need to be sure when this triggers that this guy goes first and then this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a couple of observers and I think I want to put them... I don't know. I guess I'll start by putting them there. And observers go in butt first. So when you place them, the redstone dot faces you. So now when I hit this with a signal, it's going to charge all the way this way. Though, you know, just as I'm contemplating this here, I think maybe what I want to do is move these back over on that side. All right, so the pistons are all wired up, I hope. The next thing that needs to happen is I need a clock that's going to run the pistons, and I also need it to trigger those two guys. So I guess what I need to do is... There are a number of ways of doing this. I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm just going to grab a comparator and I'm just going to do a really, really simple hopper clock. Nothing too crazy or bizarre, just a little bit of something. It'll be easy to turn on and off, and we'll trigger this nicely. So go ahead and get something like that wired up. Okay. I now have a working shifty floor. Wonderful. It's kind of loud, but it works. So the next thing that would be really, really awesome to have here would be a way to turn it off. Because, again, loud. So, for now, what I think I'll do is I'm just going to slap a lever right there. And boom, now it's off. Okay, so I want to try something here. I'm going to just fill this up, right? Because I need to have water. Oops. You know, this might be easier to do from up here. Okay. Right, we'll just fill this up. Get all of the water in place here. Wonderful. So now I've got a whole line of source blocks running across there. So when I flip this like that, okay, that triggers again. Oh, you know what would be really cool? Is if I filled these all with buckets. All right, so let's go fill these with buckets, and then we'll see how this works. Okay, dispensers are full. Let's trigger this again. All right. Okay, so that part works, which is awesome. I just need to trigger some things differently. Okay. Cool. So, right now we're locked. This is a stupid circuit, but it definitely sucks all that stuff up and then feeds it down into this. So I think what I want to do before I finish off the rest of this is get the rest of the collection system in place so that stuff that does flow down here will end up where it needs to go. Okay, so I have water all the way in. So now if I were to drop some like warped roots in there, yeah, there they go. They got sucked in. Can't get at it from here, but they got sucked in to this hopper right over here. Boom. So great. So that part of the system works. I should test it with everything else, but it should be fine. So yeah. So now this will sort out the roots on this side, the mushrooms on this side, and the leftovers will get composted. Sweet. So now I just have to do some other magic to get bone meal running into this system. It's okay. Just because I don't know what I'm doing doesn't mean I have a clue. Or something. Right? That makes sense? No? Maybe? I don't know. One can always hope. Okay, I think I've got this going. So I've got a simple circuit. This will run as long as there's stuff coming into this dropper. Throw some bone meal in, so that flops all that up. And there's all 8 bone meal up in that dispenser. Perfect. Oh, man. It's wonderful. It's beautiful. It's a miracle I managed to get redstone to work. Of course, everyone on stream knows I just went to the interwebs and found myself a nice happy picture, but we're not going to tell all of you on YouTube, right? No, it's going to just be a complete mystery to all of you out there, right? It's not like I'm going to include this in the video or anything like that, right? Nah, of course not. That would make some sense or something. And also, apparently, I am going to have to craft up another repeater. Well, you know, these things happen where you just realize this is not how it's supposed to go. But that's okay. I really just wanted to make this work in some magical way, right? Right. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and wire up this side just like I did over there. And then I need to, when it's running, I need to hook these guys up to a clock to dispense as well. So it's going to be great. Okay, I think I've got this all wired up. It's a mess, but I think it works. So if I hit the switch, okay, the floor is definitely going. Bone meal is happening. So I've got all that good stuff going. Now it doesn't flush until I turn it off. Right, so hit that switch, everything goes through, goes down, and okay, I've got a problem. So the redstone works, but the collection system is not fast enough. The hopper there is not going to cut it. So what I need to do is figure out a way to, well, to keep all of the stuff flowing through. Maybe I'll set up a little water circuit going through. That might work. So, all right. Well, I guess that's the next thing to work on. Okay, so I think I've got a water racetrack finished. So let's turn this on and see how this goes. Should just fly. So turn that on. All right, bone meal's happening. We got stuff shifting around. That's great. Looks like I'm not getting anything up front here. Well, that's annoying. But okay, let's turn this off. So it all flushes in. Now you can see, goes in, whips around. All right, looks like it loses some. All right, yeah. And then eventually, I'm a little curious why it's not sucking in those last ones. Okay. Oh, there they go. Yep, there are just a lot of them in there. And so now I've got a whole bunch of crimson roots, a whole bunch of warped roots, a warped fungus. I think it's just I haven't hit the cap yet. So yeah, 39 crimson, 41 warped fungus. So if I turn this on again, yeah, so let that go for a while. Okay, yeah, and it looks like I'm just not getting anything on this end. That's okay. But you can see I've got plenty of fungus and stuff starting to spit out up there. Cool, so turn this thing off. It floods, drops everything into the happy, fun, lazy river of doom or something. And everything's going to sort of circle around for a while. And eventually, it will all end up in here, which is great. See, now I've got some crimson fungus, some warped fungus. So this is fabulous. And then, if I want to load up the system, I just need to get some more bone meal, throw it in the chest, and it gets fed up the dropper columns, just like we showed earlier in the video. And this is great. Okay, maybe not the most effective or pretty or anything, but now I can get up here, tear down all my scaffolding, and I can build up a building up around this so it'll look cool. But that's a problem for future me. So, okay. All right, I like this. All right, well, I think that's going to do it for me today. Thank you so much for watching the video. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Until then, be excellent to each other. And this is Music for Gaming signing off.